Hello and welcome back to Daily Buying Tips. I'm Dean Berman from Berman Buys. Today we're going to talk about what may happen in the property market over the next 6 to 12 months due to this virus. I personally think the government and the banks will play a leading role here, as property is fundamentally supply and demand. For example, supply side issues can occur when multiple sellers decide to sell at the same time as they, for example, cannot afford to pay their mortgage. In my opinion, this is when it triggers financial hardship for those people struggling to repay their mortgages, and the government or the banks should step in and freeze their mortgages for a period of time, say 6 months or potentially even more, depending on how long this goes on for. And these particular type of people that are going to be most hit are workers or businesses in industries that are impacted by social gatherings and public gatherings, social interaction. And those are the ones that are going to be significantly affected by this virus. And these are small business owners and also their staff and all those supporting industries, supporting running those businesses. These are industries such as hospitality, tourism, retail, entertainment, etc. The other set that are going to be massively impacted are those that are unfortunately forced to lose their jobs as businesses lay off staff, they can't afford to keep them on, and also those that are forced to take unpaid leave. These people will need help, and help from government, help from banks. They generally will need help to get through this period of time. My very basic solutions during this period of time, if you are struggling to repay your mortgage, maybe rent out one or a few of your rooms for a few months. I know it's not ideal and no one really wants, lots of other people living in their homes, but if that's going to help you get those few extra $100 a week, which can really maybe make a difference to covering the mortgage or giving a bit more food or whatever the case is, maybe that could help. Maybe consider turning an unused space into a habitable space, such as a garage. Once again, maybe that provides a few extra $100 and maybe that can help make some sort of difference to help you during this period of time. Landlords as well, both residential and commercial, need to show some empathy at this time. Particularly in that commercial space, these are people with families, 2 weeks ago just cruising along being totally fine, and now all of a sudden, smack bang, everything's changed overnight. The big retail landlords such as Westfield, Stockland, Vicinity, QIC, GPT, to name a few. The bulk of your tenants will be struggling to even repay their rent at this period of time. I mean, if you walk around a shopping center at the moment, you'll be able to see for yourself. If you can find a way to help your tenants that's mutually beneficial, that everyone's happy, that'll be amazing. The other aspect which can greatly affect supply is simply fear. Fear, if prices go down, you may want to get out because it might continue going down further. This is classic FOMO 101. And in my opinion, generally regarded as one of the worst possible ways to deal with such a situation. The best piece of advice I can provide to a seller is simply see it out, do nothing, sit tight, and let it run its course. Prices will eventually come back. You simply need to stay calm. There is also a chance of prices stabilizing as stock levels may not grow at the same rate, i.e. there'll be less listings potentially hitting the market, which can create a reduction on supply, creating scarcity. The general consensus, in my opinion, though, in many areas is prices will likely decline, largely due to sentiment within the market. I think there'll be a portion of the buying market that are in secure jobs, have ample savings, plenty of borrowing capacity. Those are the ones that are probably going to be watching and seeing if there's any opportunities available and taking them as they come along. I think there'll also be a portion of the market that will likely sit it out and simply watch and see what happens. I think that portion of the market is most likely going to be associated with those related to uncertainty in jobs. Whichever place you fall into the market, remember we are all in this together. An interesting quote to think about at this time, Aristotle once said, "The whole is greater than the sum of its parts."